Hey, what you guys? How's it going? Interesting development regarding this movie, Citizen Vigilante. Now, I know I did a little video on this a while ago, and it didn't pique my interest. It barely passed me by. But things have taken an interesting turn. It turns out that this movie is not going to be something that the authorities are going to want you to see, and this could be part of the shift in momentum, the swing of the pendulum if a film like this comes out. Now, I couldn't actually find, there's a trailer where it comes up initially and it says Europe on the screen, so it's telling you that this is set in the West, this is set in Europe. Whether it specifies where that is or it just stays ambiguous, I don't know. But what happens in this, from what I can see, is, although I can't seem to find the trailer where it shows this, but and maybe it isn't in any trailer, it might be a clip, but from what I can understand, his wife or his girlfriend, she gets stabbed while she's walking through the park or something by, let's say, she gets a taste of diversity, which is something that these modern films will never, ever, ever, ever depict or show. They will only ever portray a diverse person in a positive light. I think this is slightly off topic. I think there's a clause in, and I know this from the film where the plane crashes in the sea and there's sharks around. I can't remember what it's called now. And there's a Chinese character in that. And in his clause, it says something along the lines that Chinese or Asian characters or whatever cannot be portrayed in a negative light. And if they are to die, they have to die in like a gallant manner by saving someone, and they can't kiss on screen or something like that. Interesting, didn't know that. But anyway, so this film, it appears to show that the wonderful enrichment that the elites are foisting on the West isn't as wonderful as they're making out. So let's just have a little look again at the trailer. I've done a video on it before, so I'll just go through this without saying too much. But like I said, I cannot find the bit where it comes up with Europe, and it specifies that this is taking place in the West. So let's have a quick look.
The truth is this: you are all being used.
The Vigilante Citizen is delivering a brand of justice that some believe the authorities have failed to provide, targeting both criminals and those in power accused of allowing crime to flourish unchecked.
There's been a lot said about me, so I thought you should hear directly from me. I'm here to help you take that control back.
Take back control. Sound familiar?
The state, court, police. See, you think that they've failed, but they haven't.
No, we know that they are against us. We know that they have continually ignored us for decades. Why do you think in England, Keir Starmer, who's just resigned, was referred to as two-tier Keir? Because he would come down on a ton of bricks on the slightest misdemeanor, like someone puts a tweet out, and he comes down on them hard. A member of the diverse crowd goes and stabs somebody up. You won't hear anything about it. It all gets covered up. The nudge unit, which we know now exists, comes in, puts the heavies on the parents, tells them what to say. We don't want this to, don't look back in anger and all that shit. So yeah, we know they're against us, bud. Do not buffer. How dare you buffer?
Control you.
I am getting V for Vendetta vibes from this.
Justice.
That's his wife, I'm guessing. She's been attacked.
Let's get some fresh blood.
Let's get some fresh blood. Hell yeah.
You walk down the street and you get stabbed
Couldn't agree with this more. Society needs something.
or robbed.
He's a real hero.
We need more guys like this.
What does your country do
nothing.
Our current system is failing to protect our citizens.
He's like the real deal.
He's playing with us.
What if everything they ever taught you was utter nonsense? We can change history.
I love that. We can change history. So here's the interesting bit. Here is the interesting bit. May have to just slightly readjust so you can see. How's that? You see that right? So here's the interesting bit. This film has been banned in Germany, a country where a certain Angela Merkel went, come one, come all, and let in 500, got to get it right, and he said 500 million then, I don't think that's quite right, 500,000 enrichers overnight, and they've had a lot of problems in Germany, a lot of problems, just as the rest of us in the West have had. So the film's been banned in Germany. Isn't it incredible, isn't it? If they'd have put a film out of someone going around killing a load of right-wingers, they would have been up there clapping it, saying this is the most inspiring film we've ever seen and this is what we need to take down these haters. A bit like when, I don't know if you guys will know this because this is a bit of an English thing, there was a series was created purely for propaganda reasons, and it was called Adolescence, and it was about this little teeny tiny little white child who just went around and stabbed up his classmates and killed her, and they were loving it. The lefties were loving it. Oh, this is all about misogyny and male violence, because they had to use a white child. And Keir Starmer stood up in the Houses of Parliament and went, we are watching the documentary Adolescence. Well, it's not a documentary, it's a bullshit propaganda drama piece of shit. But they loved it. But this is too close to home for them. They don't like it. Not having it. So we ban it. And what happens when you ban things? You just make it instantly more popular. So good. Well done, Germany. Well done. So let's see what it says. Look, they're getting in all the things. We've got to try and have a go at Army Hammer. We've got to have a go. Where are we? So it's faced criticisms for its extreme violence and anti-immigrant messaging, with Germany banning the movie. Yeah, anti-immigrant. We don't want these bloody people here. They're destroying the West. Come for me. Don't care. The pendulum is swinging back hard now. It's extreme violence and anti-immigrant messaging. Literally in the UK, we've just had, within the last week, we've had a guy, I don't know how much I can say on YouTube, had his face literally chopped up and removed, his eyeballs gouged out. A bit further back, we had a woman who was like a worker at one of these immigrant hotels who was killed by one of them. We had a woman stabbed in the neck the other day. But this is all fine, you see. This isn't a problem to them. This isn't a problem. There was a kid killed on Primrose Hill in London. Again, this isn't a problem. And all the parents come out, they put the pressure on them, saying, oh, we don't want this to create division. Don't look back in anger. It's just pathetic. It really is. So the film sees Hammer play Sanders, a man who takes matters into his own hands after becoming angry at violent crime perpetrated by immigrants. Yeah, this is what's going to happen. And this is what is happening. Director Oooooooh has defended the film and himself, insisting in the interview, I'm not a Nazi. It's the only one they know. Honestly, if you talk about the Ottomans or something like that, they wouldn't have a clue. Nazi is the only one they know. It's so cringe. You've only literally got to say, do you know what? I think we might have a problem with third world stabby people coming to this country, and that's it. You're branded a Nazi and you're scum. He said, now you're being told that if you're a conservative about anything, yep, social, sexual, political, you're a Nazi. Absolutely. You show the slightest bit of pushback, you're far right Nazi. Totally exactly how it is. If you question anything, such as the hundreds of billions being pumped into Ukraine, then you're either a friend of Putin or a Nazi or both. When asked if he was a Nazi, for Bo laughed like a man who's been asked this question several times before. That's it. It'll be released in the States tomorrow, 19th of June. You can now only watch it if you bring in a Blu-ray. I think they did that on purpose, obviously. It was a deliberate censorship decision. I hired a lawyer to complain about it, but we lost in a 6-2 vote. Yeah, because then people are never going to vote for this. No way. It would take a very... This is the thing with the narrative. Anybody can get out there and go, yeah, Trump is shit, far right, blah, 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 trans rights. Anyone can go out there and do it. That takes no courage whatsoever because you are protected by the narrative. It takes no courage to stand up there in a public light and go, we shouldn't be allowing third world migrants into our country. They are completely different from us. They do not abide by our ways, our lifestyles, our culture. They're not interested. There's 1,000 years that separate us. They haven't been through half the things that we've been through to get to the state where we're at. That takes courage because you're going to get pushed back straight away and you're going to be branded a Nazi just like this guy has. He later explained, in Europe at the moment, people are shying away from making this kind of harsh political movie. Absolutely. They won't do it. Can you imagine Hollywood coming out with something like this? Never going to happen. They come out with something like Adolescence. But I've always tried to smuggle politics into genre movies. This isn't a documentary, it's a thriller, and I hope viewers respond to it. Good lad. The initial allegations against Hammer, oh, blah, blah, blah. He denies the allegations. Oh, and 2 other women come forward. Did they? How much were they paid? I wonder. Back in Hollywood, so there's a bit of a hit piece there. Was that it? It was at this moment I was like, I'm going to get to do the thing that I love more than anything, other than my children, he said. I would have done a cat food commercial. I just wanted to work again. Addressing his fall from grace, he says, I made these problems for myself, but this didn't happen to me by fluke or accident. I didn't do what people are saying I did, but I brought very dangerous and unsafe people into my life, and I pissed off people in my life, and here we are. Is that it? Is there any more? I think that's it. Yeah, is that it? Yeah, that's it. So, get rid of that. So yeah, this is interesting, guys. This is absolutely interesting, the way that this is going now. And I think this film could go big. I do. I really do, because this is what a lot of people in the West are feeling. And if this just helps, whether this is going to help that pendulum swing back a bit more, or this is a product of that pendulum beginning to swing back and people feeling more courageous that they can say these kind of things. Either way, it's a good thing. And like he says, maybe there is a chance. Maybe there is hope. Maybe there is a chance that we could turn things around. And they'll either listen to us or listen by force in the end. But yeah, Citizen Vigilante. Okay, early on I dismissed it a little bit. Maybe I was a little bit too hasty, but certainly got my attention now. Let me know down below what you think. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. Hit all the buttons. Hit them all. See you soon, guys.